back to Miss Cindy's Kitchen. Tonight we're going to show you how to make some yummy pumpkin pancakes. So even though it's the middle of June and we're actually filming this on Father's Day, we love pumpkin and I discovered a great recipe for pumpkin pancakes. So anyway, make sure you like and subscribe and share to your friends and give us your feedback. And please forgive us for the intermittent filming. We've had a bit of a crazy spell in life lately. So anyway, the dry ingredients for this are 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and we have brown sugar that we have 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. I'm just going to pack it against the side of the canister and then plop it in there. That's 3 tablespoons. And then I'm going to go down the list. And then the next thing we add is baking powder. And the last time I used the baking powder, I found out that there are some clumps in it. And baking powder can taste a little bitter in a recipe. So to avoid that unpleasant surprise this time around, I'm going to put it through the strainer, get the little clumps out, function like a mini sieve. See, look at those clumps. So just remember that when you get to the bottom of your canister of some kind of leavening, it's going to have a little bit of clumpiness in it. And you don't want that in your food. So I'm going to dump that in the sink by the disposer. And then we have a teaspoon of baking soda. And again, I keep it in this little canister to keep it airtight, as well as make it convenient for cleaning, because I sprinkle it on countertops to scrub them, because I can't handle a lot of chemicals, so I keep things simple around here. And then we have a teaspoon of allspice. I once thought that allspice was a combination of spices, and then I realized it's its own spice, which I thought was pretty cool. So I'm just gonna put that through the sieve also, just to make sure there's no clumps. And then it calls for a teaspoon of cinnamon. Those are always great partners with pumpkin. And then we have ginger, which is a ½ teaspoon. Because ginger packs quite a punch, and you don't want to have this overpowering. Get it off the spoon there. And then we have a ½ teaspoon of salt. But I'm going to go ahead and finish with the spices here. Just make sure we don't have any clumps. As stuff sits in the cabinet, it can settle. And there's just a few little particles here. Alright. It's almost like a little sandy grit from some of the spices. I don't like how that tastes in a recipe. And then we have plain old table salt. ½ teaspoon. So, alright, so that is the dry ingredients. I'm going to whisk those together, break up the little clumps of brown sugar. So with a lot of recipes, you mix the dry and then you mix the wet ingredients. So let me set this aside for a second and I will mix the wet. And the star of the show is 1 cup of packed pumpkin. And when you buy pumpkin, make sure you get solid packed pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling. Because some people think those are the same, but they're not. You can use home prepared pumpkin filling, just pure pumpkin that is. Or you can just buy it at the store, which is what's most convenient for most people. 1½ cups of regular 2% milk. And then we have 1 egg. Like I'm doing a magic trick. And then we have 2 tablespoons of oil. And then we have 2 tablespoons of vinegar. So, let's see here. Let me get that. So now, let me whisk these wet ingredients together. And while I do that, let's get the stove turned on. And yesterday when I was making this recipe, I realized it needed more milk than it called for because they come out really, really thick. So, let's stir in the flour mixture into the wet ingredients. And as you can tell, it's getting very, very thick. So, see, it's very thick. And I'm going to put in a little bit more milk. I think yesterday I put in almost a 1/4 cup more because it cooks better when the pancakes can lay out flatter on the skillet. So, see, this is the viscosity you're going to look for. So, let's move that over here. And one way to avoid a mess when you make pancakes is to use a ladle. That way you don't have pancake drips all over your stove or your countertop. So scoop up some batter. Kind of start in one corner and just kind of spread it around.
And I see you already put the non-stick spray on the
yes.
pan.
Non-stick spray or cooking oil. I did oil yesterday, so I decided to try cooking it with the canola oil spray this time. So just kind of, to get circular pancakes, just pour it out and kind of stir it. And one thing you can do to add some pep to these is to actually put nuts in them. And for some reason we have got a clump of, well, that's brown sugar. That wouldn't taste bad, but. Alright. So we'll cook a couple rounds without nuts, just because some people can't have nuts. And some people get driven nuts by other people. Ha ha ha. All right.
Well, you know what
There's your dad joke for Father's Day.
Yes.
Well, you know what they say. Is, sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
Yeah. And the way our lives have been crazy lately, we probably are going to go a little nutty. At least we didn't have the drama of last Sunday today.
That's true.
Yes. Last Sunday, we got to witness a horrible car accident. Stoplights are there for a reason, people. Is to control the flow of traffic in an intersection. If the light is red, don't drive full bore into the intersection. It's not a good idea. Alright. These are sticking a little bit. Alright. I think I'll switch and use oil. This is the spatula I used before. Some spatulas are really thin at the tip, and those tend to work better for pancakes. And now it's getting better. See? Kind of golden.
That is a perfect looking pancake.
Yes, lots of practice. So, given that these are really thick, I'm going to add more milk for the next round. And I'm going to get a plate to put the cooked pancakes on. Ooh. For once, we actually have all the plates in the cabinet. Or nearly all. So, one of the things to note when making pancakes is you want to have the temperature kind of at medium to medium high, because you don't want the outside to burn and have the inside be squishy. It's just like when you're making grilled cheese, you want to have the temperature steady so you can cook the outside and have the inside cook as well. So, some people burn their pancakes and leave them raw on the inside, but you can avoid that by moderating the temperature of the stove. So, since I've got the oil out, I'm going to use oil instead of the cooking spray. It tends to do better, I think. And over time, these cooking sprays tend to leave a gluey film. Okay, you just got to be careful of that because this is fresh from the dishwasher and has a little bit of water in it, which I didn't realize. So, always got to be quick on your feet by the stove. Meanwhile, Dolly is sniffing the ground going, what was that? It sounded like fireworks from above. So, I'm going to put the next ones down, so down and just kind of circle them around. That way you can end up with round pancakes. It's not as easy as it looks to get round pancakes, but otherwise they can be square or oblong or running off to the side.
Like footballs.
Yes. And if your pancake batter is too runny, you'll end up with the pancake batter running to the corners and you end up with really weird shaped pancakes. So, now that I have gotten half the batter with just plain pancakes, I'm going to put some walnuts in it. If you can't eat nuts, don't worry about it. There's plenty of other alternatives to add to pancakes. You can add chocolate chips, which is also a good addition.
Or blueberries.
Or, well, blueberries, that might work for pumpkin pancakes.
Bananas.
I just figured blueberries
Bananas.
are a common
Yeah.
pancake additive.
Basically, just adjust your add-ins for whatever your family can or cannot eat. If they can't eat nuts, don't eat nuts. We don't want you getting anaphylaxis on our account. Alright. So I'm just kind of squishing down and patting down. As you can tell, the pancakes have cooked on the outside, but not yet on the inside. So I'm going to add a little bit more milk to thin it out a little bit, because it thickens as it stands. Alright. So, I've actually got both spatulas. Alright, so we'll go ahead and pause while we make up the rest of the pancakes, and then we'll bring you back for a taste test. Alright, and the pancakes are done. And Logan's gonna give it a taste.
Spread
The butter and the
syrup
pancake syrup.
first. These are good with or without syrup.
Yeah.
I just prefer them with syrup.
Mm-mm. And that one
And also
batch.
really good with the walnuts.
Yeah. Pumpkin and walnuts is always a good combination.
These are delicious.
And that one batch made this many pancakes. It says it makes 12, but honestly, it makes a little bit more. And then, Logan, you gonna hold the camera while your dad takes a taste?
I guess I got a taste.
Why don't you switch spots so we're not looking at the dirty sink?
Oh, that's okay. I can just
Our house is lived
I can
in.
just stand here and just block the sink.
Yeah. Our house is lived in. It's not a museum.
See, I don't spray around. I just, she's already put it on. Just take it as it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good life motto. Take it as it is.
Take it as it is. Good. That's very good.
Yeah. So for a little taste of fall, as we're heading into summer, we have pumpkin pancakes. And it's from All Recipes, and we'll do our best to put a link for you so you can find the recipe, but it's just look up pumpkin pancakes. The All Recipes pancake is really easy. That's what we've made twice so far, really easy. So please join us again soon, and make sure you like, subscribe, and share to your friends, and give us your feedback, and we'll do our best to post more often and post more Disney recipes. See you again soon.
Thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen. To get more recipes like this one, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Share it out to your friends, family, neighbors, and leave us a comment to let us know how this recipe worked for you. And don't forget to hit that like button. Again, thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen.